All right, for real, who can you trust? This last week, if you haven't seen, you've probably, I don't know, been sleeping or what, but you're seeing all this being posted about this red dye 40 now being banned by the FDA. I've been in practice for 25 plus years almost now, and this has been a problem for that long. That these dyes and fillers that have been in our food supply are part of our health crisis that we're having right now. I'm excited that they're starting to have some accountability to that because this is a huge problem that's affecting people in a drastic way. I'm reading some things this morning, and they estimate that 1 in 2 adults are pre-diabetic or diabetic, and we're seeing in over a third of children are already insulin resistant. Now that's a significant problem that wasn't there years ago. And I have people come in all the time and they'll look at a vitamin bottle, whatever, like this one I have here, and they'll go, well, like, what's in it? And I said, well, that's a great question. I said, what's in your food? So I want you to just think about that. Like, what is in the food you're eating? Do you look at what's in your food as much as what you maybe would look at as when you go buy a car? Unfortunately, not unfortunately, but everything you eat is actually information that tells your body to code for health or code for disease. And if you're in a state of dis-ease or dysfunction, you're already in the beginning state of disease. So I want you to start really looking at this. So this is one of the products that I use a lot. I use different companies, but I use companies that are specifically based around whole foods. Everything you eat should be a whole food. I was talking to a group of like 20 women yesterday, and when I came in, one of my patients introduced me and says, look, we want to help these ladies stay out of the hospital. And they're in their 80s, and they don't want to end up in the hospital because they're sick. And I love the fact that that was her goal. And she even prayed about it. Like, that we can help these ladies understand what health is and how to stay out of the hospital. If you're eating foods that are fake, your body's coding for disease. And right now there's going to be, I think, more and more accountability that people are going to learn about. Here's a couple of things I want you to look at. Number one, start reading labels, but start looking at the whole label. And if you can't pronounce it, if there's a dye or a filler or a chemical, and one of these ladies are asking me, like, well, what vitamins should I take? And I said, well, tell me what you're taking. I said, okay, number one, if you're reading a label on there and you're seeing things in there like red dyes or preservatives, automatically out. Like, there's no reason to preserve yourself, because that's what you're doing. You eat preservatives, is you're just embalming yourself early. I said, if you want to embalm yourself early, then eat preservatives. And I said, number one, that's it for sure. And then look at the source of where those vitamins are coming from. So vitamin C, you'll hear, is ascorbic acid, but ascorbic acid is only 1/4 of what vitamin C truly is. When you eat vitamin C from an orange, it's made up of a complex of bioflavonoids, ascorbic acids, rutin, then complex C. All this is what makes vitamin C. If you eat it from a cherry, that vitamin C is a whole food vitamin C. If you're taking a vitamin C that's ascorbic acid, guess what? That is only 1/4 of vitamin C. It's not true vitamin C. Start looking at your labels. I can't tell you how many times I've been teaching a seminar about, health and nutrition, talking about specific nutrients, talking about foods, and they're like, well, is that safe? And then at the same time, they're eating a Twinkie, a Ding Dong, or drinking a Diet Coke. There is a lot of fake foods out there that we've been using, and for a lot of us for years. I grew up where the snacks that my mom fed us was like, ants on a log, raisins, peanut butter, and celery, or grapes, apples, oranges. Well, when you're out and about and you watch what most children are eating, or most are going and snacking, it's coming out of a box or bag or a can. So if that's what you want to do, if you want to end up back in a box, a bag, or a can, or have preservatives, you eat more of those. But it's a problem. So my challenge to you this year is to get real. And what I mean by that is get real by eating real foods. Just start there. Try to put more real things in your diet, in your body, that come from real food sources, that does not come from a box, that does not come from a bag, and does not come from a can. So if you start there, every time you do that, your body is moving more towards health and away from disease. So let's get going. Let's get healthy. And this is your year.